to the solstice. Boy, am I thrilled. Super duper 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 super exciting. I've been waiting for this day to share with you guys and be on live with you guys. Hopefully I'm doing this right. So I know I had a placeholder announcing the live, and then I couldn't get into that same thing and actually go live. So I'm on my channel creating this live thing here now, and I'm really hoping that it is a good thing. Let's see here. All right, I don't want any of this other stuff. And I think we're good to go. All right, guys. So today is the summer solstice in the northern hemisphere and the winter solstice in the southern hemisphere. And it is a wonderful, inspiring, but earth-shattering, energy-shifting day. And as already evidenced by big spikes of the Schumann resonance. And if you're not familiar, the Schumann resonance is, it's been big, is pretty much the heartbeat of Mother Earth. And if I can get this, so if I can show this to you, so these big, the white spikes there, those are big energetic shifts in the energy of the Earth itself. And we have been getting super blasted with geomagnetic storms. Big, big, big ones. We are going through unprecedented energies. And I've been talking about this for a minute. But in case you're new to my channel, welcome, welcome. I would love for you to subscribe if you enjoy this content, if you enjoy my presentation style. I am Suzy Woo, a metaphysician. I do energy healing, psychic mediumship, medical intuition, sound healing. I play big badass gongs, and I'm also a crystal skull practitioner. So I've got a whole collection of crystal skulls. And most recently, I've had a big success, a big win. I appeared on the Jeff Mara podcast, and that really just blew the lid off my practice. So that is really, really cool. If you're interested in that, Mara is M-A-R-A, Jeff Mara podcast. And I was on there 1 week ago, and the video that I was on where Jeff interviewed me has just about 20,000 views. I've never had a video that has had that many views. So I'm really thrilled, excited, and delighted. Alrighty. Now, if you pre-registered for today's event, I have your name and email printed out here. You're actually going to win. Somebody is going to win I've got a couple things I'm giving away today. And you also have the opportunity to ask a question. Now, my office landlord is mowing the lawn right outside of my window, and I'm hoping you don't hear that. I turned my gain down and pulled the microphone a little bit closer, but I would like it to be auto shot. Okay. And let me just adjust this. There we go. Okay, beautiful. Alrighty, so we've got 21 of you guys that pre-registered for this, so that means you get to interact live and possibly ask a question. There will be some time I'm going to be doing, I call them splash readings, where if you're on here with me, and hey, oh good, thank you, Doris. If you're on here with me and you pre-registered, you get to ask a question. And then at the end, I will do splash readings where if you pose a question there and there's an answer for you, that I'll be able to channel it or download it and present it to you then. So first things first, we want to talk about what the heck is going on with the solstice. So, of course, I omitted that I'm also an astrologer. So I live and breathe astrology, and I love it so much because it is a language. And when you learn how to read the language, it helps you to know how to dress for the weather. the cosmic weather. It is so exciting and wonderful because really knowledge is power. I like knowing stuff. And then when I know stuff and I test it and it works, then I like to teach the stuff. So I do teach everything that I know. So what I'm going to do now is share my screen, and I'm going to pull up today's astrology. Hi, Linda. Who is this? Tasry Kens. I don't know who that is. Can you put your name there so that I can say hi to you? Okay, so let me get this screen. Ah! Yay! I'm back. No idea what's going on, but let's run with it. Okay, woo! We're back. And yeah, big time solar flares, big time Schumann resonance. I'm going to try to share my screen, and if it, I don't know if I even want to do that now. Actually, I'm not gonna. So I'm going to talk about the solstices without sharing the screen, just because. Oh, thank you, Doris. She says I sent you grounding energy. All right, so I'm just going to look at the chart. I'm not going to share my screen because of what just happened, and I don't want it to repeat itself. All right, guys. So this is what we have going on. On the day of the solstice. Oh, shit. There are others waiting on the other link that was in the email. I don't know how to get into that one. Well, if they leave that link and go to my YouTube channel, they'll be able to see that I'm broadcasting live. It should show up with a little red beacon, a little red light. I don't know how else to. I don't know how else to connect. So I am going to run with this, and I'm going to trust. I'm going to trust everything is for the best. It's the best I can do. Alrighty, now what we've got today is the sun is at 0 degrees of Cancer. That's what the summer solstice in the northern hemisphere is. It's the first day of Cancer season. Cancer season is family. And that's why we have picnics and gatherings and graduations and get-togethers, cookouts, summer holidays, all that kind of thing. That's what this signifies. The sign of Cancer is a sign of mother. It is a sign of the healer, the nurturer, the caregiver. I think caretaker is a bad word or a negative word, because caregiver, we're caregivers, we're not caretakers. We're issuing the care. Maybe it's because we are taking care away from us to be selfless, but I don't want to get too deep into that. Where do you think the word spell comes from? Spelling. Like, why do we use the word spelling in English language? Anyways, let's back off of that. All right, now today being the sun is at 0 degrees of Cancer, and this is really, really prestigious because we've had the planet of power, destruction, and what doesn't kill me makes me stronger. This is Pluto, is now fully in the sign of Aquarius, for the people, by the people, which I really love. And that's going to stay there, going through there for the next 19 years. This is going to be a time of taking back our power from top-down structures, from, the whole pyramid. It's only so many at the 1% at the top. Well, now it's time that pops open and that gets dispersed to all. And that is the meek shall inherit the earth. This is those times. It is biblical times. It is huge, huge energetic shifts. And you chose to be here on this planet during this time. Your soul said, I'm in. I'm part of that, in whatever capacity you show up in. And hi, Jay Lizard. We are all now Cancers. So this is kicking off such a wonderful energy, but it is called cardinal. And so cardinal are the first sign of each season. It's Aries, Libra, Capricorn, Aries, and Cancer. Aries, Cancer, Libra, and Capricorn. Those are the four signs that are called cardinal energy. And what's up with cardinal energy? It ignites, it starts stuff. It turns the engine over. It says, let's go. We got a full tank of gas. Hopefully, let's go. We got to initiate. So this is like grand openings. And when somebody first opens their store, their business, it's that first door opening and turning on the open sign. Yeah. But it's new. So you don't know a real lot, cardinal energy. It's just saying we got to launch. We got to get going. Let's do something. All right. So we have today the moon is in Taurus. Now the moon loves to be in Taurus. I have a Taurus moon, so I always love when the moon is in Taurus. And if you are a Taurus, this is a great time for you, whether you have a Taurus sun, a Taurus moon, Taurus rising, second house planets, or planets in Taurus. Why? Because the ruler of Taurus, which is Venus, is also in Taurus. And this is a beautiful thing. And what does that mean? It means it's time to take very good care of your body, but also treat yourself, reward yourself. Give yourself a little perk. If you've been working really hard trying to shut off maybe winter pounds from the Christmas cookies and the fig cake or whatever, figgy pudding or whatever it is, then maybe this is time that you're having better alternatives. And maybe you've been doing a really good job, and so today you're going to treat yourself. So that's a good thing, but be careful not to indulge, because Taurus is a sweet tooth. Venus loves sweets and chocolates and wines and flowers. And the moon with Taurus, the moon is our emotions. Now I'm not really doing the mundane world astrology, although I kind of do blend it in. I really enjoy personal astrology. Like, don't you want to know, how's this going to impact me? Right? That's usually what people want to know. All righty. And so the moon changes signs every 2.5 days. And so the moon just got here, and it's going to be here for another day and some change. This is going to be a great time. How fun and fortunate that it happens to fall on a weekend. And so I would encourage you to, look at some beautiful flowers or plant, because Taurus is also the gardener. Plant some beautiful flowers. Really enjoy things with your 5 senses, because that is what the sign of Taurus rules over, your 5 senses. And you really want to enjoy, smelling the coffee and, looking at things with your eyeballs and letting it feel deep into your heart. Like, I just had such a beautiful energy coming in today. I feel super duper buzzy. I feel when we're going to get those big spikes. I've done on live during my training sessions, during the healers course. I'm feeling something's going on. And then all of a sudden we got a notice about more spikes that were happening. And so, hi, Heather. We're very sensitive to these energies. Hey, Nico. Oh my gosh. I'm so sorry. Yeah, there was a big mess up in the beginning. I'll take the blame for that, but I'm glad you found me over here, and hopefully the others do as well. Great. We want to be enjoying the sweets, but of course, not overindulge. And this weekend, we may overindulge. And if you have a glass of wine, I don't know about you, but it might be a little bit difficult to only have one. You got to be careful. You got to take things in stride. Taurus is slow and steady wins the race. And so emotionally, savor things. Eat slowly. Really enjoy with all of your senses your life experiences, particularly this weekend. I super love Taurus energy. And this is the first year that I planted a whole bunch of outdoor flowers and beautiful things. And before I left today, I looked at it, I was like, this is beautiful. And it just feels so good. So do that for you. Now, this is not about, well, I'm broke and I don't have the money. Because guess what? You can go to a cheap store like Aldi's or even Walmart, and you can get a $5 or even Dollar General, and you can get a $6, $5.99 bouquet of flowers. Bring that home, pop it in a glass, and put it in the middle of wherever you hang out the most, the kitchen, the living room. Have that nearby, because every time you walk by, even if you're not directly looking at it, the energy of that nature and that beauty is going to be speaking to you harmoniously, and it's going to help you to feel uplifted. You want to have the most your favorite beautiful aromas going through your home, your car. Wear beautiful textures. Wear the things that you feel amazing in. That is the beauty of Taurus. She is all about the fine silks and feeling on my skin and the milk and honey and all of that stuff. That's what Venus wants. And when she's in the sign of Taurus, that's an earth sign. And so that is stuff you can put your hands on, but it's also crystals too. And so you can decorate yourself as you would like to, but really, really ham it up this weekend. Excuse me. Put on what makes you feel amazing, what makes you feel attractive. And who gives a rat's ass if somebody else doesn't like it? So I actually put more glitter on my eyes because I was feeling super sparkly today. And I was thinking about an earlier time in my life where I used to judge people who were all sparkly, but that's because I was in a darker place. And so if you're in a darker place and you see somebody and they're all gussied up and you're judging them, what is that actually saying? Are you trying to deny somebody else about feeling good about how they look or how they're presenting themselves? So I only say this stuff because I can identify with it. That used to be me. And now I'm on the other side of that and I don't care. So when I was going through a horrible divorce, is when I first started to put just a little streak of purple in my hair. And what really the reason was because I wanted to raise awareness of domestic violence, because that was actually my story for 22 years, for those who don't know. And so I would just put a little streak in my hair. And then eventually I liked it so much, I went my whole head purple. And during that time, my littlest one, we still had to go back and forth because he was little and he would go visit my ex. And my ex would be like, everyone's laughing at mom. She looks like Barney. Okay. Now, why would you do that to your child, right? Because that's the child's mother. But anyways. And of course, it's trying to make him feel bad and make me look not great, but it's hair. Who gives a shit, right? And so now I don't care. I dress exactly how I want. I dress in a way that makes me feel good. This is what I want for you. And I have no problem going to the thrift store. I will spend $6 on a dress and feel amazing. I don't care. It doesn't matter. What does matter is how you feel. There is nothing more important than how you feel. So you want to wrap yourself in the colors, the textures, the flavors that you can savor, the people, the experience, nature, and good, clean, fresh food, non-processed. And that is how you can start to feel better from the inside out. When I wear your favorite color, right? Wear your favorite, like this kind of thing, all right? And treat yourself. Venus wants you to treat yourself. Go buy yourself a treat, a reward. Take a small splurge, but don't overextend your budget. Don't spend beyond your means, but at the same time, treat yourself. This is what Venus wants for you, regardless if you have any Taurus planets or any of that other stuff. Now, because this is the open the doors, this portal energy of solstice, it's a timestamp, which is going to mark this whole season. What is this season? What is the flavor of it? Guess what? It's blessings. It's blessings. I'm so excited to tell you that it's blessings. Why? Because the planet Jupiter, which is like the Santa Claus planet, the planet of abundance and joy and freedom and expansion and learning and teaching and higher learning has moved into the sign of Cancer, which it's exalted in, which means it's most strongest, it's most powerful. Where the past 2 years, it was in signs that it was not super powerful. Now it's free. I'm going to go fly. I'm going to help people. In the sign of Cancer, it is housing, families, lineage, your roots. So, all right. So now we're getting an interrupt here, which I wasn't ready for, but it's just the way that it works. So when I get a certain feel, so this just felt like a jab. You understand the thing I'm talking about, the medical jab. So I just got that feeling in my arm. And so what this means is there's going to be more repercussions on whatever side it is. It's going to be on the side of truth. And so what is true for one person is not going to be true for the next person. And that is what is meant when they say, or we say, you create your reality. And so there are people who are like, oh, how can you be so happy? Yeah, we got some energy going on. I am alone in here, and there's some activity happening. People might say, how can you be so happy? Don't you know that there's people suffering in the world? Okay, yeah, but guess what? You cannot, me, cannot save like everybody from all the suffering in the world. What can we do? We can pray for them. That's what you can do. You can pray for them. And people who are yucky, don't entangle with it, but wish them well, because they're broken inside and they're projecting that and causing problems for other people. So those kinds of people, you send them love kind of from afar, because that's what they need the most. Love cures, love heals, love is extremely powerful. There's nothing more important than love. And guess what? The opposite of love is not hate, it's fear. And what is anger? Anger is masked helplessness. There's so much power in that statement. So the next time you get angry, sit in that anger for a moment and then actually trace it down to the root and say, why am I mad? And it's going to be because you feel helpless. And then what can you do about it? And that is, that's only a decision that you can make depending on the circumstance. Now, this whole Cancer season, with Jupiter's blessings, Jupiter's expanding. It's in the sign of its exaltation, the sign of Cancer. The sun just stepped into Cancer. Okay, so they're together. So anytime that the sun and Jupiter are together, that also brings blessings. It brings abundance. It brings prosperity. But you have to be tuned to it. So if you're sitting over here, nothing ever good happens to me, well, you're creating that. And the universe is, okay, order up. Here's more crap. Dump, 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 dump. But if you wake up and you're like, ooh, I wonder what I can bring to this day, then Jupiter's going to deliver opportunities to you. It is completely your call based on your level of consciousness. The most lowest consciousness that you can express is anger, guilt, shame, resentment. Those are very, very low vibrations. If you can get yourself at least to neutrality, that means you walk outside and somebody's like, you're ugly. And instead of going, you know what, instead of entangling, you understand hurt people, and really what they need is love. So I might say, have a great day. Or I might say nothing at all, but I'm going to just surround them in love, because that's actually what they need. Because healthy, balanced people don't treat others like that. Okay? That is what neutrality is. That's what neutrality looks like. It means I can look at anybody and not pass judgment. And the only way you can actually do that is by stop judging yourself. Stop worrying about what everyone else is perceiving or saying about you. Who cares? Who cares? But the problem is we do care, and we care too much. And when you care too much, you are actually you're giving your energy away. So here's me. You think this about me? Okay, you've just given them a chunk of your energy. You're saying what about me? I got to defend myself. You just gave away more of your energy. They think this. They said what? give away, give away. And now you have no energy left. And this is where you feel helpless. And then you feel victimized. And then you get angry. And then depending on your personality style, you can cave in on yourself. And we don't want that for you. And then you could fall into boredom. And any of that is going to lead into escapism. And that's why we do things that we're not proud of. That's why we go into escapist kind of things like drugs or drinking or multiple sex partners or not being able to get out of bed or whatever it is, or forever being, gaming. Like these are escape things that take us out of our boredom, or doom scrolling. Oh, heaven forbid. So you want to find creative things to do. When you're being able to create something, you are actually tapped into your divine energy. And anybody that's an artist would be able to tell you that. And I know I've got at least one in the house here. Excuse me. So this is when you are writing, if you're writing a song, if you're writing a piece of music, if you are inspired, that is God talking to you, or whatever you label that as, creator, universe. Okay, I use those interchangeably. When you get that aha, that inspiration, that is you and your higher self making a connection. And you're never going to get that if you are too busy worrying what everybody else thinks, because that's a lower vibration. It's fear. And then that means there's going to be more stuff that shows up because that's where you're tuned, and you're going to start to notice that. And then you're going to go, oh my God, did they really say that about me? Do you know that that's not true? And what a burn of your energy. What a waste of your precious time. Okay, I don't want that for you. I want you to have a wonderful, prosperous, celebrated life. This is a time for celebrations. Starting now. There is a huge world divide going on. Huge. And so what side are you on? Are you on the side of love, which means you're tuning out all of the bullshit being said? Or are you in the sign of fear, which means you're really paying attention to all of the Jerry Springer stuff? You're really paying attention to follow the news and what's going on now. Excuse me. You know what would be really funny? Maybe you've already done this. Turn on a news channel and turn off the volume. And it's going to be, you're going to notice all of the input that is like red, urgent, emergency, the big emotion words that they use to hook you in. And then watch the newscaster. And it's very intense. And so everything about it is feeding your nervous system, and it's telling you what to be worried about. We don't want that. Okay. If you tune out of that, then you are not eligible to let that lower your vibration. All right. So I wake up every day. I think about my dreams. I kind of decipher them. I might journal a little bit. I am gosh darn grateful. I got another day to be alive. I'm not being abused anymore. I figured out who I am. I figured out I don't suck. I'm not a loser. I'm not Barney. I'm not anything that I don't want to be. Okay. This is what I wish for you. And this is what Jupiter wants for you. And this is what Venus. You are the whole walking universe. You have, when you were born, when you drew your first breath, a picture is taken of where all of the planets were. And that is your cosmic recipe card. And that is why behavioral or psychology astrology is actually evidential. And I can prove that. Like when I do a chart reading, I'm going to be uploading sometime over the weekend a cold chart reading I did. And the person is just listening, and they're either validating or not validating. And it's a language that you can read. Okay, let's see what you guys are saying here. How will being upset about it help the starving people? So why not be happy? Exactly. Hi, Susan. You will also not attract those people into your experience anymore because you've raised your vibration. Exactly. Oh, there you go. What the world needs now is love, sweet love. Exactly, exactly. You guys get it. See, you're the right people to be on this channel. Oh, that makes me so excited. Alrighty, what's next? I did have a couple of notes for myself so I don't forget, because obviously I've got a really short attention span. Okay. Strong cardinal energy, Venus in Taurus. Okay, next is now that temporarily we only have 2 weeks left of Venus being in one of her signs of rulership, Taurus. But these 2 days, this weekend, the moon is also there. So please treat yourself. Please do something wonderful. Be outdoors, get some nature, some fresh air, some flowers, something that is fresh that you can really appreciate. Even like some beautiful essential oil or smell of lemon. And I just really love lemon. What else about this? Really, really spend some good quality time with yourself this weekend. Really count your blessings. Everything that is going for you is going to overpower everything that is not going for you. Because you could say all of the things that you're not and that you don't have, which is going to now become a focal point and it's going to bring you back down. If you look at all of the things that are going your way, which it always goes back and forth all the time. But as you start to practice that attitude of gratitude, I'm so grateful for this, I'm so grateful for that, it will become a pattern, which will start to become a behavior, which will start to become a lifestyle. And then it becomes effortless. So as people brush against you, because I laugh in my sleep, like I truly am a happy person at my core, but I've had the contrast of getting beat up, of getting bad tortures by somebody that promised their love to me. Okay. And I lived through that for 22 years. So I've got deep contrast of actually hating myself. I found a bunch of paperwork, and some of them were notes that I had given during one of our breakups. And it actually said, oh, like begging to take me back and how much I hate myself. And oh my God, it a little bit ripped off a scab. It little bit made me be like, I can't believe I actually wrote that. But that helps me to understand deeper, more accurately, in that real time, the whole formula of empath sensitive with sociopath narcissist. They just entangle in this wild love affair. And that's exactly the way that it happens. And so if we have a little bit of a low self-worth, it doesn't mean we're not confident though. Because I was always very sunshiny and confident until I kind of went into that, and then it was like, hook, blah, it was bad. And because the optimism just wanted to make it work and accepted the blame, you're going to get somebody who's going to allow for that and feed into it. And we don't want that. Okay. So everybody has contrast in their life. Look at where you have contrast, have had it, and use that for your gratitude. Wherever your contrast has been, the conflicts you have been in, people throw you under the bus, people who have betrayed you, lied to you, deceived you, any of those things, somebody who stole something from you, any of that kind of stuff, the shit you've been through. Every single person has contrast in their life, some to a more degree than others, but still. Didn't it teach you a valuable lesson? Is there a way that you can turn that to count your blessings? And so if it's somebody that really violated you, then it's like, well, thank you for helping me realize what I don't want to become. Because you, at some point, when the tables turned, you're going to have the power to cause the equal amount of harm to somebody else. And that is the karmic wheel coming back. Now you have that decision point. Is it going to be an eye for an eye? You have that decision. And if it is, well, that leads to a world full of blind people, right? We don't want that. Hopefully, you will choose the higher road, because everybody that causes harm to other people creates their own karma. I don't need to help anybody be in their deeper crap. That's not mine. That's why you never wish somebody to crash and burn, because you're going to get it first. We don't want that. All right. Wish everybody well, even those who have not been so good, because that's what they need. And that's how you keep yourself clean. It's how you keep your energy clean. Okay. Next, we got to come back to Jupiter with the sun. So on the 24th, which is in 3 days from now, Jupiter and the sun are going to be holding hands, or a conjunction. They're going to be occupying 3 degrees of Cancer. Now, 3 is the number of creation. Mother, Father, Child, Trinity, Father, Son, Holy Spirit. 3 is a magical number of creativity, of creation. Jupiter is a planet of abundance, wealth, prosperity. When you show up, you got to show up. And the example I always say is, if you want to get on the bus, you better go to the bus stop, okay? Or there's no hope of you getting, of that bus taking you where you need to go, okay? You must show up. So it's making clear decisions, what it is that you want to do, but that's not enough. It's a good running head start. Get clear on your choices. What do you want for yourself? And then write it down, and that is going to concretize it. Speak it out loud. That's going to give it even more oomph, because that's the air element. This is the earth element. This is the air element. And pour love into it. Pour your energy into it for the ether. And then when you take an action, that's fire. So you want to use all of these elements to help you manifest what it is that you want for yourself. Okay, so I want this. I think about it. Got it. I'm going to write it down. I'm going to speak it out loud. Awesome. But now I have to do something. So you've got to take a little bit of an action. So I got to find out, where is the nearest bus stop? And then you go to the bus stop, and then here comes Jupiter, right on time. Order up. Here you go. And that might show up as you meet somebody at the supermarket. You find $100 bill on the ground. You get a settlement notice. Maybe everything got moved into your favor. If Jupiter shows up when you show up, it doesn't just fall into your lap unless you are a Sagittarius rising. Then you are born with a horseshoe up your butt. But if you're not a Sagittarius rising, you got to show up first. You show up, and Jupiter will see you and raise you. Jupiter will give you a bonus for having that clarity and taking some action. And so between today and the conjunction on the 24th, and it's going to kick off another whole cycle. So these big new cycles that we're moving into, they are monumental. Okay, one, we've got Pluto in Aquarius for the next 19 years. We've got Jupiter in Cancer for 1 year. And then we've got Saturn in Aries for almost 3 years, even though he's going to retrograde one more time, with Neptune in Aries, which is going to retrograde one more time, with Saturn back into Pisces. So these next few months is going to be a test run of something for you. A test run, dipping your toe in the water, trying something, helping you to cope with things, helping you to navigate home issues, family issues. You might move, you might relocate, you might buy or sell property, real estate. Now with Jupiter in Cancer, that can bring inflation a little bit. But not to the level that it was in 2020. That's done. But there is going to be inflation, and there is going to be more flooding. Now, unfortunately, we've already had a ton of flooding, and that's not going to go away. But when that kicks in, it's when the planet changes signs. So Jupiter is freshly into Cancer, and we got tons of flooding in lots of different places. Now, this Sun-Jupiter conjunction is extremely fortunate. How can you work with these energies? Gratitude, always. Oh, love and gratitude, appreciation. I am so grateful I'm alive during this time. because I get to, and then you fill in those blanks. And really, the all roads lead home, but there's like shortcuts and there's long ways and there's in between ways. And the fastest way to get what you want is going to be by going into your heart energy. It's not actually going to be through your head. It's going into your heart energy and then kind of broadcasting what it is that I want. You say it out loud, you write it down, you speak it. You start feeling what it feels like to acquire or be whatever this is that you want for yourself. And then you start to behave as if. And you trust that it's on the way. You really should be trusting that it's already here. But it's got to be short enough steps together to make it believable. And that's why I'm not a big fan of fake it till you make it. Because if you are broke and you're faking it till you make it, and I'm going to pretend that I have millions of dollars in my bank account, okay, that doesn't feel congruent. Like my conscience is like, I'm lying to myself. So personally, I can't do it that way. But what I can do is saying I am learning how to love myself in new ways every day. And I am starting to feel very wealthy in my heart, which means I'm starting to surround myself with quality, high caliber people who are not rattling around about stupid shit, who are not trying to ring the bells and wake the children over what the news just said to be worried about. That is not me. And that's why I don't frequent things. And I'm a loner, really. I'm a loner. And I preserve my energy because I value it. And it's important. It's important. You don't want to go to places that drain your energy. You are in control of that. Now, we had a really good example of somebody who said it was either a birthday or a graduation party, and they were like, every time I'm around them, they always like attack me and they make me feel bad or humiliate me or something. I made a choice that I'm not going to go. And of course, there's going to be repercussions, but isn't it better to not stick yourself in the middle of a fire when you know you're going to be under attack, even if they are family members? And what I encourage you to do is strip the person of their title, whether it's a parent, a mother, father, a sister, brother, or even a child. Strip the title from the person. Look at that behavior. And if that behavior was to your best friend or somebody that you value, would you stand for it? And if the answer is no, then why is it okay that it happens to you? And now you hold the reins. You are in control. That's what you have to do. And so during these times, it very much is about who is my family. Now, this is not always going to be the blood family. And if you're part of my channel, you might have been a black sheep of your family. And that is, what kind of got us to be a loner in the first place. But that led to self-sufficiency, self-dependency. It also led to probably codependency first, which I lived through. But it got you to where you are now. And you kind of have created your own kind of pedestal for yourself. So what is it made of? I have figured out who I am, hopefully. Like, that's what we want. You got to know thyself. What is important to you? And who do you want as your family? Now, it doesn't mean you don't love them, but you love them from a safe distance because you got to protect yourself. All right? Very, very important. This whole family thing, the sign of Cancer, Jupiter in the sign of Cancer for a full year is going to impact you. Whether you are a Cancer sign or not, you have the sign of Cancer in your chart somewhere. And what that means is Jupiter is in that house of your chart, which means the energy of that house is going to expand. It's going to grow. Now, for some of you, it means there's going to be a new family member coming on board. Okay, I'm going to tell you, I'm going to go through all 12 houses after I catch up with the comments here. I'm struggling to find blessings in anything because the deep pain and grief I'm in from the recent passing of my mom. We're going to do a special prayer for you, Miss Heather. I came across this for Solstice Blessing. Hand over your heart. I welcome the return of the light within. Ooh, I love that. I welcome the return of the light within. Yeah, because as within, so without. So that's what you create. And beautiful. Doris is supporting. Heather, my father passed February 2. That's 2-2. Be kind to yourself. I am ready for my new chapter to begin. This is the time we have waited eons. We got this. Thank you, Susan. That's awesome. It reminds me of Pam Gregory, who I really adore too. She's an astrologer in the UK. And if you are into astrology and you want it in simple layman's terms, listen to her channel and subscribe to her channel too. All right, where did I want to go next? I know I mentioned I want to talk about Jupiter and all the houses. I think we should do that now. And then, Nico, pray for my new business. What is the business? Tell us what is the industry? What is the business? Because this is about the blessings of Jupiter. And so we are going to go through all of the houses now. Now, I do have a free birth chart generator on my website. If you go to Suzy, SUZY-WO.com, I forget what tab it's under. I think it's under services. I don't want to disturb the signal, but go to my website. I'm pretty sure it's under services, and generate my birth chart. You put in all your information. It'll show you the chart. And you want to look for the thing that looks like a red number 4. That's the symbol of Jupiter. For some reason, I always want to look behind me like there's symbols or information there to share. It's not. But it looks like a red number 4 with a curly Q for the beginning. That is your Jupiter. And so if Jupiter is in your first house, that means you are a Cancer rising. Jupiter going through your first house, this is beautiful. It means your family life, your home life is going to change, but it's going to bring blessings upon your body. It is about being in your truth, honoring yourself. What is family to you, and honor? Go in that direction. It means expansion. Now, one of the things you got to be careful of is when Jupiter's in your first house, it could expand your waistline. And so it could be a pregnancy, or it could be weight gain. It could be swelling because water getting more. It could be water retention. And so you do, also emotions. And now Cancer already is the most emotional sign. So for anybody that has Cancer energy, it's going to expand that, which means there could be more tears. But guess what? Tears are cleansing. We need water in our life. But too much water is going to create flooding, and we don't want to be into too much depression, okay? And so everything is about balance. Jupiter in your first house, again, that's going to be a Cancer rising. Jupiter going through your first house means it's all about you. This is going to bring beautiful blessings for Cancer sun signs as well. Yeah, and the Cancer moon, all of the Cancer energies, that is going to be really, really beautiful. Expansion, possible relocation. You might meet a new tutor, a new mentor, a new teacher, or you might even teach. You might move into a teaching capacity. If you have Jupiter going through your second house, this is pretty darn lucky too. Now, Jupiter is lucky everywhere. So whatever house Jupiter is going through in your chart is bringing luck, prosperity, and abundance, but you got to show up. If you don't show up, you miss the boat. Second house is your income, but it's also, you can't get the more income unless you say I'm worth it. Self-worth, not external validation. That's the opposite. Self-worth, valuing yourself. This is also your possessions, your income, your collections. There could be an expansion of that. You might acquire more income. You might get a big fat bonus. You might get this wouldn't be a 10th house promotion, but it could be a bonus. It's an income, an acquisition. expansion of how I feel about myself, self-validation. And that also could bring swelling as well, because the second house is also our physical body. So for everybody, make sure you're keeping all of the elements in balance for yourself. You can't have too much of anything, and too much of anything is not a good thing anymore. Too much of a good thing is not a good thing. Too much of anything is going to throw you off balance. So really, it's being able to let yourself indulge, but know your limit and play within it. There you go. Be careful of gambling, Jupiter in the second house. Jupiter in the second house. I have Jupiter in the second house. I mean, no, I don't. It's ruled by Sagittarius, and the ruling planet is Jupiter. Anyways, that's going to be too splitty hairy to get into. Jupiter going through your second house. It means you're going to have more money to be able to spend, but you have to know that you're worth it to have. So you've got to be careful with your spending so you don't overcommit, overspend, or make this big promise, buy something that you can't afford, and now you got to make the payments. Okay, Jupiter in the third house is going to inspire you. It's going to inspire your thinking, your thoughts. It's going to help you to be able to convert, like sales and commerce. Self-employment is indicated there. It has to do with communication and conveying your thoughts, and kind of being, I don't really mean convinced, but helping people to see your way. And so this is going to spark your intuition. So somebody comes in and you know exactly what you need, and you can plug them into it. And your thoughts get big but clear. And even stuff about past lives and your lineage can suddenly show up to you. And you'll be able to sell ice to an Eskimo while Jupiter's going through your third house. This also could expand your neighborhood. So you might move to a bigger, finer neighborhood, or you might get other nice neighbors because it's positive. This also is the house of siblings. And so there might be benefits for your siblings that could happen as well. Jupiter in the fourth house is an expansion of home, family. There could be a new family member coming on board somehow. Growth, an expansion to your home, adding on a new wing to your house, or an addition, an expansion. Maybe you are having a second house, like a summer cottage, or a summer home, or something might be more extravagant that you visit as a second home. It's beautiful, good energy, and it is also about discovery, again, of family and family members. Jupiter going through your fifth house. This is awesome. This is great for romance, love, affairs. I can't help it. I have to say what it is. But it's also luck. So this is a self-shining house. It's also self-employment. So if you have Jupiter going through your third or your fifth house, or you have planets in your third or your fifth house, this is really strong about self-employment, your self-creativity. The fifth house is how I shine. What makes me shine individually? What makes me shine? And then how I shine in the context of others is going to be the 11th house. Excuse me. So we're in the fifth house. And in the fifth house, let me get a sip of water for a minute. I've been talking for, well, over an hour. Okay, fifth house is shining, how I shine, expansion, hanging more decorations of my business, or additional ways of outreach in my business, shining even brighter, taking the blinders off, coming out of the closet. This is who I am. This is what I do, everybody. And that video I did on the Jeff Mara podcast, that was slightly putting myself way out on a branch there. And I'm so grateful that I was like 98% well received. Because those who love you don't mind. And then there's another part of that. Those who mind don't matter, and those who matter don't mind. Yeah. Oh, I like that. Okay. Fifth house. Okay. So Jupiter in the sixth house, this is going to help bring resolution to health matters. Okay. There might have been water retention. There might have been unexplained weight gain. There might have been too much of something swelling up, or other people that you like, coworkers and subordinates that are stealing your thunder. This is where Jupiter in your sixth house is going to help dissolve health matters. It's going to help bring you blessings in the workplace if you are an employee or if you have employees. It's going to bring abundant blessings there, expansion there, growth there, being of service. So you might get blessed new ways of being of service. Side note, Jupiter in Cancer is the sign of the healer, the sign of the nurturer, the mother. And so you might, no matter what sign you are or what house it's going through, this opens you up for higher levels of compassion. If you stand in your own pillar of light and you are a compassionate person, just your mere presence next to somebody helps them feel better. You don't even have to open your mouth. Just being there, somebody starts feeling better. They don't even know why. It's because you're there. You might, if you're interested in energy healing, you might want to take a healer's course, which I'll be launching mine again in the fall, or do a retreat. Let's keep going through these houses because, a squirrel, and I'll be down the road. Okay. Where am I now? Fifth, sixth house, seventh house. Okay. So there's something else I want to mention if there's time. Jupiter in the seventh house, that is going to bring benefits with partners, intimate partners, business partners. This is the house of negotiations and contracts. Anybody you have a contract, an agreement with. If you're self-employed, this is customers and clients. And so Jupiter going through their super growth, we love this. This is going to bring blessings. If you're putting yourself out there, the right people are going to magnetize towards you. This is wonderful if you are in the market for a partner. But you need to know whatever the level of consciousness you're at and how you feel about yourself, you're going to attract that. You're not going to attract what you don't have. You're going to attract what you are. So if you're not really happy about your life and what's going on in your life, you want to do those self-repairs first before you echo out and bring in a partner, because that is a mirror of you. If I don't feel good about myself, I'm going to attract somebody that helps me to not feel good about myself. When I feel good about myself and I'm whole and complete, I will attract people that are whole and complete. That's what you want. And so Jupiter in that seventh house expands. It could land you wonderful new contracts. It could also take you abroad because Jupiter is travel, like other cultures, other languages, other lands outside of your neighborhood. Okay. Jupiter in the eighth house, that means you could possibly get an inheritance, a settlement, a payoff, a payout, an insurance payment, maybe if you have a spouse, your spouse might get an inheritance. There's something going on in other people's money. It's also shared resources, taxes, stuff like this. It's inheritances. So it's non-earned income, but it's also consolidated. Like if you have a spouse, for an example. And so it might be a great time to cash out on something, cash in on something, receive rewards, let it come in. Investments might be paying off handsomely. And I do also want to mention real quick, another side note is that Uranus is going out of the sign of Taurus and moving into Gemini. That's July 7th. There's going to be turmoil right around those, I would say 3 to 4 days before, leading up to it. And then it's going to be volatility to the market, including digital currency, including like that. I don't even know what there is anymore. Ethereum or Bitcoin or those kinds of things, tokens, digital signatures. Now, I also suspect there's an attack that's going to happen, and it's going to be a security breach. So, and there's also going to be one that involves, it's a short word, and it's a financial. I'm seeing ends in the name, a financial thing. So there's going to be financial burden. Okay, so there's going to be something that there's too much pressure and it collapses, but this is now about a financial entity, let's say. And now I would love to see it if it were a particular entity that has the word black in the name. It's a financial backer of not good things. If you don't know what I'm talking about, look at who bought, I believe, 23andMe. Okay, let's move on. Yeah, so there is going to be volatility in the market for sure. And you might get certain feelings. Should I pull my investments out? You have to trust your intuition. I am seeing stock market disaster. And I also feel for some reason paint. So I don't know exactly what that's going to look like. Okay, I'm going to move on. Jupiter in the ninth house, travel, meeting teachers and gurus. I mentioned a little bit, but the ninth house is travel, higher learning, higher education. This could move you into a teaching slot. It could, you might start teaching other people, but you might bring into your environment a guru, a teacher, a somebody to learn from, somebody that you who can advise you, somebody who will hold your hand and help you to get to where you want to be. Now, I do also offer coaching, by the way. Um, Ninth house, travel. And so visiting places that you've always wanted to travel, but I don't recommend it the first 2 weeks of July. I don't encourage plane travel the first half of July. I strongly discourage that because the planet Uranus is also god of the skies and it is airplanes. All right. Oh, thank you. Smash that like button. Okay, what else? We are in the ninth house. So Jupiter loves to be in the ninth house because that's its natural place. The natural ninth house is Sagittarius and its ruling planet is Jupiter. So when Jupiter is there, it brings big abundance. Again, you got to show up, know what you want. Now, you might fall in love with a foreign person. That could happen too. Or you might find your family roots, like over in Portugal or some other place, and you make a connection. Maybe you find a long lost somebody and you want to go there and trace your roots, or you're called to somewhere that you've always wanted to go to, but the real reason why is because you've had past lives there. So this is super duper cool. Okay, we go from the ninth to the 10th house. So Jupiter going through your 10th house, that means Jupiter's going to be on your midheaven. Now that's exciting. That is going to break open new light on your career, your public life. Now, where we wouldn't like this is if there's like our family stuff in the news. If it's dirt, we don't want that. I didn't get to the 11th house. Yes, it's next. And so, wait a minute. No, not Jupiter and Taurus. I'm talking about Jupiter currently. Jupiter currently, and for the next year, is going to be in the sign of Cancer. So you want to find where Cancer is in your chart, and it's the energy of that house that's going to be growing and expanding. And that is what I'm going through right now. And so Jupiter on your midheaven is going to be going through your 10th house for the whole next 12 months. And that is going to boost your career, new opportunities. Where now, because it's the sign of Cancer, which are caregivers, where I really feel an explosion or like an implosion, this is going to be healthcare. This is going to be nursing. Because guess what? Jupiter in Cancer forms a trine to Pisces too, which is immunity, immune system. I don't want to go too far down that. This 10th house, Jupiter up there, the implosion is going to be some kind of a mass departure of nurses, nurse aides, healthcare industry, healthcare workers, but I'm also feeling something around like clergy and those who are called. There's still going to be some really big reveals going on here, and some of it is kind of creepy. It has to do with like lineage and selection and how people are bred. Now that is something that's really dark and negative that I'll do a separate video on because I don't feel here is appropriate. Okay, so be sure you subscribe to this channel, please, and ring the bell, click the bell for notifications. I would really, really love that. Okay, so this I want to hang on this for a moment because this is going to be what happens. But if this impacts you directly and Jupiter's on your midheaven going through your 10th house over the next year, you might be that nurse. Maybe the contract for this project ends. And now you're suddenly a career nurse out of a job, or you're a career nurse who, I can't take this anymore. I don't feel good going to work anymore. I see these sick people and I'm doing what I wanted to do, which is helping people, but I don't see that they're getting better and I can't keep doing this anymore. And a lot of my clientele are exactly that. And people who have walked off since the 2020 ordeal. And those who haven't now will be. And it's some of them, it's because they're going to be displaced, which means let's say the hospital had so many violations that they had to shut it down, or there was money laundering. I mean, there's a lot of corruption there, but a lot of it. That's going to start surfacing for sure. Now, again, we're on the personal side. So if this is you, what's going to happen is as you leave this medical field, industry, conventional, you will come back up with the Pisces help. It means the universe and God is not going to let you go. They're going to support you. You didn't go through your whole life doing what you felt right. I want to do everyone who wants to be a nurse is because you want to help people. But then when you get, same with teaching, but then you get into the system and your hands are tied and you have to do things their way and it doesn't feel good. And it really messes with your head and it messes with your energy field. And think of all of the tech, not just the tech, the radiation and the 5G and all of that stuff when you're in those places that's going on. That contributes to the problem too. And so you will be coming back up and serving, but in a holistic way, in a way that feels good. And if that speaks to you, you may want to take my healer's course, which some of you guys who are on here today have. And if you wouldn't mind putting a little blurb about how the healer's course has helped you, I would really, 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 really appreciate that. Would you recommend my healer's course? And if so, why? Okay, now Jupiter in the 11th house. So this means Cancer, the sign of Cancer in your 11th house. This is going to expand your network. And your network equals your net worth. So this is a wealth house. It's the opposite of the 5th. And the 5th house is how I shine. But the 11th house is taking my idea to a board. And the board members say, yes, and I want to back you. I want to give you money. I want to give you a facility to work in. I want to give you a blank check or an office or whatever it is that you need. I want to help you. And so this, if you have Jupiter going through your 11th house, you must be networking. You want to connect. You want to meet other people. You've got to, even if it's from your computer and it's like a meetup group or something, you want to be making these connections with people who are where you want to be. That's what the 11th house is. These are people who want to offer you good advice, that want to give you a hand up so that you can stand on your own doing that. So it's wonderful to grow your network. And this also includes your social media. So if you're lucky enough to have Jupiter going through your 11th house, that is going to bring people out of the woodwork who want to support you. This is your friends' house, but higher caliber friends and friends that you will kind of acquire as family members, that you will grow to love and establish a network and build a sense of community, which is backed by Pluto in Aquarius. It's wonderful, wonderful for you. And then Jupiter in the 12th house, that is Jupiter in the 12th house is going to really blow up your dreams. It's going to introduce very vivid dreams, big messages in your dreams, what you need for healing. It's going to bring up shit around karma, but karmic closure. It's going to bring natural endings, things that need to come to a close across many lifetimes. It's finally coming to an end. I'm finally able to get off this wild, scary roller coaster, and I can make peace with myself. Jupiter in the 12th house is about retreats. Please join me for a retreat anywhere I have retreats. I have a whole event page on my website. This is going to kind of pull you out of all of the crap going on in the world And it's going to be a time of solace, a time of peace, a time of inner peace, a time of healing. Now, if you have issues around addictions, Jupiter in the 12th house is going to invite you to rehabilitate yourself or go to a rehab facility, like live there, like an inpatient thing. If this has to do with seclusion, isolate myself, being a recluse. And it's a spiritual house. And Jupiter in Cancer is water, and water is spiritual. And so this is like, becoming a nun, becoming a monk, that whole solitude thing. But it's peaceful, it's still, it's quiet. And so something maybe horrific has happened a little bit close to home for you. And I just need to get away and I need to process what's happening. And in doing so, you find yourself. So it could be a little bit of a dark night of the soul, which could also happen if Jupiter's in your 8th house. Dark night of the soul is when you lose all sense of self. It all falls away. Your world falls apart, and I don't know what way is up, and I don't even know who I am anymore. And then I surrender. And in that surrender, that's when God reaches the hand down, or the light, the sun rays come down upon your passed out body, and you open your eyes and you are greeted by an angel and you didn't die. Okay, so this is it's a renewal of your life. It's a beautiful, but it could be a little bit scary because it's not life the way that you knew it. And now this is also going to be dreams of past lives. People from past lives are allowing for karmic closure as well. So it's a real big deal, no matter where Jupiter is in your chart. Again, it's the sign of Cancer in your chart, wherever that is, that's where Jupiter is going to be for the next year, and it'll expand this for you. Now, the other thing I wanted to mention, and then I'm going to read comments. The other thing I wanted to mention is that all of the outer planets have just changed signs. They're all in very low degrees, early degrees. So if we looked at that on a natural chart, that means new beginnings. It means uncharted territory. And because the outer planets are involved, those are like generational. So we are starting this is a new generation, like for real, like not being jokey. It is a very new beginning. In fact, the indigo children are now grown up, and it's the indigo children that are now starting to step into their power and say, what in the heck did you give us to work? What were you thinking? And so these new concepts, these new ideas, new ways of gathering free energy, being able to support one another using light. It is more of not only an anchoring of a light, but we're nurturing it so it shines brighter. And that starts on an individual basis. How do you anchor your own light? It's to know thyself. And if you're confused on that, you've got God inside, universe, creator, whatever you call that, or the sun, okay? Like the sun in the sky, but if it's like Christianity, it's like the sun. Well, that's what your heart is. The sun rises, okay? Every day the sun comes up. That's you. You wake up every day. You got the sun inside. It's your heart. And it rises every day. You have a new chance to love yourself every day. Connect with yourself. Know that you are love itself and that you are loved in ways that you can't even comprehend. Now, for those of us that are control freaks, well, I want to know. I want to know how much I'm loved. I want to feel it. It's not going to be like that. It's always soft, subtle, and fleeting, easy to miss. And so if something doesn't work, you can get all agitated and why didn't this work? And I'm going to blame them and blah, 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 blah. Or you look for a path of least resistance. So that didn't work, or that blew up. It's really because it wasn't meant for me. And, this showed up. Well, I'm going to go there instead. So maybe there's a detour in the road and you go this way and you got to stop at the gas station now and you meet the love of your life or something like that. It's believing. It's actually moved from believing to knowing that everything happens for a reason, because that is what divine purpose is and divine timing. Excuse me. Now, Let's read your comments, and then I'm going to give you guys a few little splash readings. I didn't actually plan on talking about that the whole time, but I also felt it was important. Okay. Okay, so Nico's business Super Patch utilizes a technology called VTT. I know about that, and it works. It stimulates the skin's neural response, which in turn sends signals to the brain and nervous system. Super cool. I heard about that. I saw it at Conscious Life Expo. Okay. And he has a flight to New York July 3rd. For that, you want to look at your personal chart and see you want to look at your own chart on that day. It's called the transit chart. Okay, now, Heather, I took Suzy's healer course and it was amazing. I've been able to assist in my own healing, my pets, and help some of my family. I learned so much, and Suzy's a wonderful teacher. I highly recommend it. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Amanda, yes, their medication I want to get off of. I'd have to go inpatient, and I have a baby, so he may have to go into the foster system. Well, I do. I can't see any more after that. That'll depend on where Jupiter is and what house it was. So let me see if any of these people, do we have Margaret Moffat? Are you here? And the next one is Karen Seymour. The next one is Nico. And the last one is Kaiten. So there's 4 of you that are getting a free reading. Nico's one of them. I now forgot the names. Kaiten, Margaret, and I believe I said Karen Seymour. Yeah, so you're going to get a free reading. How cool is that? So we'll do your chart for July 3rd, and I will do that offline with you. And let's go one more. And this one's going to be a free solar return report. And this is going to be based on who's here. Les Momo. So if you're still here, you just won a solar return report. And I will hopefully be able to message you through here. Way, way awesome. Okay, so now we're going to have this wonderful little blessing for your own personal prosperity. All right, this is going to be way cool. And all I need you to do is bring your awareness from your head down into your heart, soft, subtle, and beautiful, and begin to breathe in and out of your heart space. And just stay there. Calling in the beautiful, abundant blessings of this particular summer solstice event. And those that are joined through this channel at this moment, whenever they are watching, it is now for them. Soft and subtle, feeling it already. Okay, this first thing is going to light up the energy of your own heart. Stay in your heart. Don't be in your head. And allow yourself to feel excitability in your heart. And it's okay to not know what you're excited about. It's because really amazing things are about to bless you, are about to come into your life, and that you're going to want to get very, very clear on what it is that you desire, short-term and long-term. Maybe it is for improved health. Maybe it is for improved financial stability. Maybe it is for more confidence. Maybe it is to help see through a very challenging time. Nestle that energy in your heart and allow yourself to be swaddled by the light that some of you may call the Holy Spirit, or a Blessed Mother type of an energy, which is the nurturing that Cancer offers. I see you, I feel you, I love you. You must be more compassionate with your own self and allow yourself to receive these divine blessings, this love, this immersion of beautiful energy that is always there and available for you. Never again exclude yourself from this. It also lives within you. When you open, you can align to it. Allow yourself to do this now during this right now moment for you, and let love in. Divine abundance, divine blessings. I am worthy to receive the love of the Creator, for that love exists, coexists, dwells within me. And I acknowledge that I'm an extension of Creator energy. And that Creator wants me to have a life that is filled with joy and bliss. And when I align to this, I am able to receive it. All else may fall silent. May all distractions, diversions, apprehensions, doubts, and fears, may they all fall silent. And I may only hear the sounds of nature, the birds, the wind, and the trees. May I only hear the sound of gentle rain when appropriate. May I only hear the sound of Creator speaking to me softly, lovingly, and subtly. I am worthy to receive. I am worthy of the love that is always there for me and dwells within me. I bask in that love. I am love itself, and I am loved dearly and powerfully. I align to that now. I open to receive the bountiful blessings of this incredible solstice energy. And I allow myself to fully embody all of the light that I am able to hold. And I will nurture that like a garden. And I will love it and I will bless it. For I am that which is source creation. And I will no longer cut myself off or deny myself of the wealth and abundance of this cosmic universe of which I am, of which I belong, of which I am a part of and was created from. I am a walking miracle, and I will honor this vessel for as long as I have this temple that is my physical body. I am love and I am blessed, and I will honor that. And so it is. And allow yourself to have a beautiful, nice, deep breath. And release it whenever you're ready. And if you had your eyes open, you may open them now. And I thank you so very much for joining me during this, albeit bumpy beginning. It was a beautiful finish. Thank you so much, everybody. I'm going to give you a great big hug because I have to. Love the hugs. Love the hugs. All right, everybody. Any other comments here? Hi, Divya. Beautiful. All right, everybody. Thank you so much. Please do like, and if you know anybody that would appreciate my channel, please share my channel. Hit a like, do a share, all the stuff that we need you to do to help support this channel so I can get into the algorithm of other people that might be interested in this material. I love you. I love you dearly. I love every single one of you. And again, you can create a free birth chart on my website. I do have a newsletter, the Woozletter, on my website, suzy-woo.com. And I hope that you will join me on whatever I do next. Thank you so much. Blessings to you. Bye for now.